Okay, so for those of you who don't know, on around the 23rd of February, Apex Legends players on Linux started getting banned for cheating. You'd open the game, queue for a match like usual, but immediately after joining a server, you'd just be kicked back to the main menu with a message saying the client's game account has been banned, which is very descriptive. I was just there trying to play a game with my mate, and I'm like, damn, guess I won't be playing any Apex then. I mean, this has got to be a bug, right? I checked my email, and around 4 hours prior, I had received an email with a big fat red box which said I'd been permanently banned for cheating. I was really confused at this. I mean, I don't cheat. I've never cheated in Apex. I've spent a lot of hours in this game, and to risk it all on my main account would just be ludicrous. I thought perhaps it was because, I'd taken an 8-month break from the game, came back, and I was placed in Bronze 4 in ranked, so I was playing well above what I should have been in Bronze 4. So I thought, perhaps I could have just been reported every single game and just got manually banned. I made a post on the r/Apex Legends on Linux subreddit documenting what had happened, warning other users who might have used the same setup as me, proton-ge and VK Basalt, that they too might get banned. I wasn't really sure though, because at this point there was very little information about it. After a bit of back and forth with some people in the comments who shared a similar experience, we decided to make a post on the EA forums. Shout out my man Pilot for making this thread, because this is what really got the discussion going. We're talking on the forums, people are coming into discussions and sharing their experiences with getting banned. Initially, it seemed like an issue with proton-ge or Vulkan layers which draw over the top of the game or access the screen buffer, like Mango HUD for drawing the FPS counter, VK Basalt for color correction and sharpening, OBS VK Capture for capturing the actual Vulkan buffer for streaming or recording in OBS, etc. But as more and more people started talking about it became clear it was happening to stock Proton and Proton experimental users too, and even people who weren't using any of these extra Vulkan layers. At this point, it was definitely more of an issue because this means Steam Deck users are at risk of getting banned too. And since the game is Steam Deck verified and even using some promotional material, I believe at some point, that would be a bit of a disaster for Valve also. We were speculating for a long while, and eventually an EA community volunteer pipes up and says they'll forward the issue to someone who's actually from EA to look at. Finally. Bear in mind, it had been 5 days at this point, after people initially started getting banned, and this was the first thing we heard from anyone. No word actually from anyone from EA though. I want to add on quickly that during this time I was sending constant ban appeals to EA, and I've got to say, their support system is absolute dog shit atrocious. You just get some automated botlet reply denying a request. It's like they just have some simple flowchart to follow determining if you have any chance of getting your ban lifted. After 3 increasingly short-tempered attempts at appealing, I received one final response, and it read, "We received your latest message regarding the action taken on your account. We have performed all investigations possible in this issue and will not reverse the decision.
Please do not expect further responses in this matter."
Fantastic, great even. I mean, this is definitely the way to treat your loyal players, full spans with absolutely no means of remediation. I think around this time the thread started to get a lot more traction. Around the time I'm making this video, it has over 100 replies and the discussion is literally 8 pages long. Finally, a community manager on the forum from EA called David hopped into the discussion, recognizing the issue at long last, and said it would be escalated to the relevant people. Some hope on the rather bleak looking horizon at least. There were some articles written as well about the issue around this time, because it started to get attention on the r/Linux Gaming and the r/Steam Deck subreddits. One of my favourite Linux gaming YouTubers, AirMax, also posted a really good video at this time, link in the description, which summarised the issue at this point in time really quite well. It was picking up a lot of pace and attention in the community. Bans were still rolling in steadily. People coming in in the tens on the EA forums, just saying, I've been banned, this is my setup, etc., etc. But absolutely no communication from EA outside of the community manager telling us it's going to be escalated. Bear in mind, there are people who've spent thousands and thousands of hours in this game and spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars as well. And they've just had their accounts permanently banned and received emails from EA saying, basically, you were cheating, and the support system was just saying the ban will not be overturned. It's really not a good look. I personally tried to contact 2 of the members of the security team at Respawn on Twitter, but didn't receive a reply. I understand that unless you have a lot of clout on Twitter, your messages and tweets are just likely to get lost in the abyss of people complaining about various other things or hurling insults at the team because there's something didn't go their way in a game they just played. It was worth a try, eh? People also started posting the Apex Legends issue on the Proton GitHub. It devolved into chaos pretty quickly with some guy coming in and just openly admitting he cheats on Linux and hasn't been banned. I thought it was quite funny, but I don't think the others took too nicely to it, and they just had an argument amongst themselves for a few hours. until one of the moderators cleaned it up and Daddy Gar.d426 came into the thread and laid down the law. On the morning of the 3rd of March, however, there was finally some hope. There was people saying in the GitHub thread and the EA forums discussion that they could join games again. I tried it myself, and sure enough, I could get into the firing range. As of making this video, people do note that their bans still show up on the ban history on EA's website though. But since some people reported receiving the ban notifications quite a while after being banned in-game, it's possible that EA's website just isn't reporting the most up-to-date information and it will be fixed later. I don't know. I even played about 2 hours of Apex with my mate on stream and it was totally fine. I played awfully because I haven't played in over a week and I've been losing my mind on Overwatch this past week instead. I think this is partly to thank from everyone in the EA forum discussion, everyone in the thread and the Apex Legends subreddit, especially the moderator who also forwarded the issue to the contact they had at Respawn, I presume. So that's it, right? It's all solved. We can all go back to gaming on Linux with the magic of Proton and DXVK and Wine. Well, yeah, we can. But I still think it's poor how this was all handled. There were hundreds of confirmed reports from people on Reddit, YouTube, the EA forums, GitHub, etc., and it took almost a week for it to be noticed. And in classic EA and Respawn fashion, there was practically radio silence in the meantime. No guarantees about our accounts, our stats, the countless hours and money collectively poured into the game, no confirmation about what caused it, why it happened, nothing. EA support blindly declining people's ban appeals, affirming the idea in people's minds that their accounts are just shot and that's it. I mean, that's the impression that I got anyway. The fact that I had to find out about this issue being fixed from a moderator on the Apex subreddit and not from an official channel via EA or Respawn is disappointing to say the least. No word from either of them, no compensation for the time or effort wasted. I do want to quickly add in though that I did finally get a response from Chris on Twitter from the Apex security team, though only after the issue had already been resolved and I, along with everyone else, had found out either amongst ourselves or from the moderator on the Apex subreddit. I suppose really, it just makes me wish that these big, seemingly faceless companies could at least provide adequate customer support and communication for their customers. I mean, if you lose trust in your customers, and you'll just lose them completely, and they're the ones like buying the frankly overpriced microtransactions and skins in these games. I'm really grateful for the state of Linux gaming. The fact that what was traditionally an intrusive kernel-level anti-cheat on Windows works under Linux in user mode at all is fantastic. The fact that you can play a DirectX 11 game, which is designed for Windows, compiled for Windows, through Steam, translate the calls in real time to Vulkan API calls, and then get better performance than you do on Windows, is just nothing short of incredible. I mean, you can't really take it for granted. But that's all from me for now. I'll link all the references, threads, discussions, articles in the description so you can check them out if you want to. Thank you very much to everyone involved in solving this issue, and thank you for watching this video.